If you're new, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And boy, oh boy, we're going to be on the air in 30 seconds. We've got so much to cover. Of course, Bret Baier cleaned Kamala Harris's clock. So I'm going to start with that right here out of the gate. It's all right. Stand by.
45. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All righty. It's Thursday, October 17th. Can you believe it already? 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, I ended yesterday's show by saying that if Bret Baier did a great job, did a good job with Kamala Harris, I would apologize and commend him, and I'm doing that just now. Bret Baier cleaned Kamala Harris's clock. In fact, I'm here to tell you that out of all of the mainstream high-profile interviews I have ever seen, that one was the best takedown I've ever seen. I'm going to talk about it. I'll play some of the clips. I know everyone's going to play clips all over the place today, but I'm going to play them too and give you my thoughts on it. He did a masterful job. I've seen so many high-profile interviews. They happen and they fizzle. Like, I remember there was one when Megyn Kelly was on Fox at night. There was a big buildup with like a week of promotion about an interview she was going to do with Bill Ayers from The Weatherman, who was believed to be the ghostwriter of Obama's book. It's when Obama was president. It was a big deal. Like, oh my goodness. And it fizzled. It was nothing. Bret Baier, what he did last night with Kamala Harris was a maestro at work. And I've not been a fan of this guy. Got a lot of problems with him. But he was the maestro last night. And he was up against it. You know, Kamala came in very late. The interview started, they recorded it. They started it at about 5:15 p.m. And he had to have it done so it was ready to go on air nationally at 6 p.m. So, you know, he was up against it and he did it. And one thing he did with mastery was playing the clips, which I was talking about today. I'd play this clip, I'd play it. He actually played clips of her in her own words, and oh. But I'm going to play one clip right now. This one was just blew my mind, okay? This one here with Bret Baier and Kamala, he did a setup like I would have done with someone. You know, when I do setups and I'm walking someone down the garden, anytime I'm talking to anyone on the phone, I know my phones are screenless here, but no matter where we are in a conversation, I'm 5 steps ahead of wherever you think we're at. Okay, I know where I'm going, many steps away, and you have no idea. I might not even finish the steps because I'm done with you. Bret Baier did a setup with Kamala Harris like I've never seen someone do in the mainstream media before like this. Not with a Democrat. And I think I got the right one queued up. I hope it is. All right, we'll find out. Let me play this. This is the maestro Bret Baier at work.
But you call Donald Trump.
Oh yes, this is it. This is a setup and a takedown. Bret Baier. And I'm here to tell you, I was really hard on Bret Baier yesterday. Bret Baier deserves an award for the takedown of Kamala Harris. This one in particular, listen.
But you call Donald Trump.
The significance of that.
You call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Boom! Boom! I mean, that's a mic drop moment. And by the way, Do not let anyone tell you that he did not clean her clock. If anyone tells you that Bret Baier did not clean Kamala's clock, they're one of two things. Well, they're one of maybe three things. They're a liberal, they're fake MAGA, or they just really haven't thought about it too much and don't know what they're talking about. That was such a setup. You've said that Donald Trump's cognitive, and he gives her like a few examples, and she's getting all worked up. When did you first notice that President Biden was in cognitive decline? Whoa! And you could hear the mic drop almost with that, and the look on Kamala's face. Oh.
But
you call Donald Trump.
The significance of that.
You call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Bret.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room. And
by the way, did you see that bag of cocaine outside the Situation Room, Kamala?
Situation Room. And he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand.
Yeah, and Biden's in the White House. Oh, man. Was that beautiful? That was beautiful. He caught her off guard. And she didn't know which way was up, which way was down. You know, and I'll play more of the clips later as the show goes on. But no, I was 100% wrong on the show yesterday about Bret Baier. And I am apologizing to him right now. I am sorry, Bret Baier, not that he cares. But I give my apologies to Bret Baier because he did an incredible job. And, you know, I knew that she would give that one answer about the border. You know, well, we had a comprehensive bill and Trump stopped it. Trump's not in office. And when he brought up the young women who have been raped and murdered by the Kamala Dreamers, oh. And let me tell you, this guy, Bret Baier, he's so ticked off at Donald Trump, right? And look what he did. I mean, that's real journalism. He put his personal feelings aside and did his job. You know, he was comparing it to his Obama interview at the White House years ago, and Obama had to have coached Kamala, or Obama's advisor at that time coached her, because she tried to do this just like Obama did. Coming in late, having them flag you down to stop the interview, cutting it short, up against the clock and all that stuff, going on and on about nothing to run out time and all this, and he wasn't going to let that happen again, and he stopped her at every chance that he could. I think he did a great job, and it's over for her. That was a devastating performance by her. I think the Joe Rogan interview is off the table at this point. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break. I want to remind you all, Medicare open enrollment period, it's here. I mean, that's it. You know, this is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. Debbie and her family have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1993, helping listeners of this program with their Medicare each and every year. It costs you nothing. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you. She'll review your policy to make sure you're not paying too much if you have a supplement. She'll make sure that you need that supplement. Maybe you don't. Or maybe she'll find a supplement that's less money that does exactly what you need. She'll also review and make sure your prescriptions, your primary, and your specialist are all covered next year. And it costs you nothing. Give her a call. Here's her number, 954-753-8080. Call early. Leave a message. If you leave a message, Leave your name and number, and Debbie from I Will Advisors will call you. And remember, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. My name's Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on
Oh, great job, Bret Baier.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Good. Start your Thursday. Your Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Did a great job. Oh, yeah. And don't let anybody tell you Bret did not do a good job. He did a spectacular job.
Truly, the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success.
Of course she came late on purpose.
Those customers are like family.
She knew that there was a countdown clock to the 6 p.m.
Clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Do you suffer from...
By the way, guys, don't forget, follow me on X, Brian Craig Show. All my show prep is right there on my X or Twitter, whatever you're calling it. Brian Craig Show. It's right there on the screen. Everything I talk about on the radio, YouTube, my podcast, I tweet everything. And it's right there. So if you follow me there, you'll get all my show prep.
6642.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Peacock Cam would be kind of cool. I don't know if we could pull that off.
The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Here is in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at True Oldies.
All right. 18 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday. I am Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show. Flow Ride is the longest running radio show. Oh, man. Bret Baier, the maestro of the interview, did a great job last night ending Kamala Harris's presidential dreams. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, the best question Bret asked, and he said it to Levin, and Levin agreed, was, what are you going to do different
Yeah, exactly. Then Biden. What would you do? What would you do different for Joe Biden? Yeah.
And she was asked it twice and never responded. And they both agreed. That was a good interview by Levin. He said 40% of the time, all she did was bash Trump. When you're sitting vice president and you're not taking account for anything and you're just attacking your opponent, don't you think anybody sitting on the fence is going to see right through that?
You know, the thing with that, the reason she's in this Trump derangement syndrome suffering circle where they all sit around and obsess over Trump. And I got to tell you, Dana Perino is a terrible person, and she's one of the worst coworkers someone could have. I was watching, you know, she's with Bush. She's almost as dumb as Kamala. But she was on right after, right, with Bret Baier and all that stuff, and Bret Baier's in all his glory. And she said something that just shows what a terrible, nasty person she is. Dana Perino tells Bret Baier, well, if she would have done more interviews all along, she would have done well. So she took away the skill and great job of Bret Baier and just says, well, she didn't do enough interviews. She just is out of practice. She's rusty. You know, what a terrible thing she said to Bret Baier, to take him down off of his glory.
She and the rhinos, always give Kamala a break. They never ask her tough questions, and they don't hold her accountable. And those are the two things
yes.
I can't stand about when she's interviewed. She's not held accountable for the lies, and when she was asked about the border, she started blaming Trump and made something up, and I forget what she said, but she made it up and never answered.
She kept saying, I knew she was going to give this answer before she gave it. I might have said it on the air yesterday or the day before, that, well, we had a comprehensive border bill and Trump stopped it from getting passed. Like they don't have everything they need already. That nobody buys that line of crap.
No, what it is they don't allow them to do their job is what it's actually about. And all they'd have to do is give the Border Patrol the authority to enforce the law, and they'd shut down the border.
Exactly. All right, Jeff, appreciate the call. Yeah, it was great. Oh, I let him go. He had something. I'm sorry, Jeff. I hit it kind of quick. Apologize. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Nick out of Baltimore.
Hey, Nick.
I agree with you. It was a great interview, and I have a lot of respect for Bret Baier. But did you catch the end where he digged into her and he said, well, Madam Vice President, I hope you got everything in that you wanted to say about Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was a dig.
The end.
That was a dig. I felt like watching Bret Baier, there was a few times he was fighting back, cracking up and laughing at her. It was so absurd.
Yeah, and you know, there were a couple of times that she actually got angry during the interview. You saw her face change, and she can't handle it.
No.
Well, Trump not handling it, she couldn't handle this.
No, exactly. And that yelling is a bad look. Have you ever seen Donald Trump start yelling during an interview like that?
No.
You got to when you want to be president, you've got to be like cool and calm under pressure. Not a. You know, my wife told me, this was just my wife's opinion as a woman. She said she's obviously menopausal. That's menopause right there. That the mood swings.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
And this line that she did again, that I bring in a new generation of leadership. She's 60 years old. She is a baby boomer. Okay, just like President Trump, she's a baby boomer. She's trying to pass herself off as some 45-year-old Gen X millennial or something, but she is a baby boomer. She's a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah. And following up on what Jeff said, I mean, she's been there, and Bret Baier mentioned it, you've been there for 3.5, 4 years. Trump's not there, you are. And then she talked about the last decade, indicating Trump was, in there for 10 years.
Well, I thought that was a dig at Obama. That's how I took it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she.
I mean, look, when, and let me tell you, And we all know Bret Baier doesn't like Trump, right? And look what he did. When he brought up, well, President Clinton blamed you for the death of Lincoln Riley. What say you? I mean, she was like, what? This doesn't happen. It's not supposed to be this way.
That's when she blew up. And the thing was, you're right. She just didn't have it. And it was great. I was apprehensive about watching it, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did, because it was good to watch that.
Yeah.
And I saw the Univision town hall as well. That was very good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. All right, I appreciate the call, Nick. Take care. Great calls. We're starting off very well today with the calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
All I have to do is say that was beautiful. Bret Baier did an awesome job. And one of my favorite parts, one of my favorite part was when she knew she was stuck like Chuck, and she said, "You know what I mean, And he goes, "No, I don't." That was the best right there for me, because
no, I don't, Madam Vice President. What do you mean?
because every time when she had the power, remember going back to, I guess, 25 when she got a BMW to now almost 60. And all of those.
No, she's 60. Her birthday is this month. If she's not 60 yet, her 60th birthday is this month. If it hasn't happened, it will happen in a few days. I'll look it up during the break.
Hey, Democrat, if she goes from age 30 to 60 and she hasn't learned anything and she cannot think on her feet, she damn sure don't belong in the presidency.
Mm-hmm. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Hey, guys, don't forget, my podcast, The Brian Craig Show podcast that I co-host with my wife, is on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast. Wherever there's podcast, I'm there. I'm on every podcast platform in existence. The Brian Craig Show podcast. Make sure you check it out. And, of course, my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll go right back to the calls, and we are praising and celebrating the maestro of the presidential candidate interview, Bret Baier, who did an incredible, classy job as a real journalist. That was some real journalism last night. I was very impressed. All right, we'll take our break and be back right after this. Absolutely, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Let me look up. Let's see here. When is her birthday? I know it's this month. She's going to be 60 in 3 days. Her birthday is the 20th. She's going to be 60 years old in 3 days. That's the new generation of leadership, guys. Mm-hmm. Now, guys, don't forget, if you'd like to support my channel, go to mypillow.com. Use my promo code Kane at checkout. And, of course, when you can use my promo code Kane on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. Free shipping on all orders over $75, and it's a great time to do your Christmas shopping. Look at that, the My Pillow, My Coffee, 50% off. And the My Pillow, My Coffee comes in whole bean or ground, different flavors, comes even in the Keurig cups if you use those. My wife and I just got the My Pillow mattress. We got the one that has springs in it. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. And, of course, you can use our promo code Kane on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. And, of course, the MyPillow that started it all, the standard MyPillow, just $14.88. And, of course, everything at mypillow.com makes a great Christmas gift. And when you use my promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you are supporting all of my content, the radio show, YouTube channel, my podcast, everything I do, and it's greatly appreciated. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Yeah, Jeff, I hung up on you before you got to your one last thing. I apologize. That was not my intent. Really? Nikki Haley has man hands. I don't think she's attractive at all. Not at all.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm someone that took 3 hours to go down.
Oh, Bret Baier. He deserves all this credit. And Dana Perino, what a jerk. That was a highly skilled interview he did.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yes, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on the train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane. Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on...
All righty, we're back 31 minutes after the hour. Our number 1-888-465-2631. We are praising Bret Baier for his spectacular job taking down Kamala Harris. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg. What's up?
No, I'm happy to see you actually are giving Bret Baier his dues because you ripped him for how long, right?
I ended yesterday's show by saying if he does a great job, I will go on the air tomorrow, apologize, and commend him, and I've been doing that for 32 minutes. I even did a YouTube video. I went at the gas station this morning. I got my car washed. I was in the car wash praising him this morning at like 5 a.m. 4:30. I don't know what time it was early.
For the past years, you've ripped him.
Yeah.
You rip him for how much he paid for his Palm Beach estate. Right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, $39 million.
No, I haven't ripped him for that.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. What I've ripped him for, excuse me, before, no, by the way, what I've ripped him for is he has done a lot of coverage on that fake Letitia James lawsuit on the property value of Mar-a-Lago being only like $14 million, right? And he lives right down the street, not even on the water, by the way, not even on the water, in a much smaller house on a very tiny piece of land, and he paid like $35 million for it. And for full disclosure, he could share that and talk about the property values, but continue to report on that Letitia James story. But he did a great job last night.
Question, have you ripped him about his cosmetic surgery?
Oh, yes, he's had too much eye surgery. Absolutely.
That's right. You know what? You like to bring people down. That's...
What you do nothing but try to bring me down, which you'll never do. So what all of a sudden you're against criticizing people?
You criticize him over his cosmetic surgery.
He's had too much eye work. I don't even know how he sees. He's got like slits in his head. His eyes look closed.
You know what? Good. At least you're acknowledging that. You know what? That's the problem I have with you.
What? That I'm honest? That I'm honest? That's your problem?
No, listen. You know what it is? It's disgusting that you feel that you need to build up yourself by ripping other people.
That's not what I do. I give analysis and excuse me. What I don't. What I'm giving is analysis and commentary on the news and the people involved in it.
And people's eye surgery.
See, what you do,
No. What
you do. Calm down. What are you on your period?
On my period, by the way, your wife, God.
What, you want to talk about my wife now? You call my wife disgusting?
Her commentary, and she goes, oh, she's on menopause.
My wife told me that Kamala Harris's mood swings that she has all the time, that it seems like a postmenopausal woman who's having some hormone issues. Yeah.
Agree with that? Would you?
My wife is also a menopausal woman, and it's an area that she has expertise in. She knows more about it than you and me.
So what is your wife experiencing now?
You know, do you have any sense of what are you laughing at? What's so funny? You're laughing like a girl.
Topic.
Why? What are you talking about? We're not talking about my wife. I made a reference.
You just...
My wife is 54 years old. Women in 54 are going through menopause. You want to make fun of menopausal women?
No, I don't understand it. Tell me about it.
No, I've said enough. What is wrong with you? Are you okay?
No, what's wrong?
You're completely unhinged. The menopause wasn't a topic. It was a passing reference. Are you okay? That little weird laugh you did a few moments ago, and the way you're really incoherent. What's wrong with you? You okay?
Can I speak now?
Yeah.
Okay, you brought up that your wife is in menopause.
I've mentioned this many times. I've mentioned this many times. It's not a topic of discussion. It's a reference.
You know what? And is she experiencing like what Kamala is right now?
It's none of your business what my wife's experiencing. You know, see, if you were a gentleman, no, you can't. If you were a gentleman, you wouldn't even be talking about my wife. You know, here you are ripping my wife, trying to attack my wife, trying to get me to criticize my wife. What kind of man are you? You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely. You are not a gentleman. You are not a gentleman.
You're not a gentleman. Why would you bring that up about your wife? I would not disclose any information about my wife, period.
Yeah, well, you're not me, thankfully.
You guess what? Thankfully, I'm not. Guess what? I will not disclose any information about my family, but you bring it up, then I don't want to talk.
Well, see, unlike you, I am a public person. Okay, I've been I am a public person and have been my entire life. You're not a public person, and nobody cares about you and your life and your family.
I disagree with that.
Oh, wait a minute. You're a public person, and people out there in the public care about you?
I have people that care about me.
Oh, no, everybody has people that care about them. I mean, you know, there's a very old joke. Even Hitler had a girlfriend. But what I'm telling you is, yes.
You know what, listen, it's not about me, but I love Bret Baier, and guess what?
It's not about me, and then the next sentence begins with I. Thank you for your call. Oh, my goodness. You know what's going on here? You know what's going on here? This is the Trump derangement. You know, Mark Halperin was on with Tucker Carlson the other day. And I might play this later. I was going to play it yesterday, but I didn't get to it. Mark Halperin, who's great, he was on with Tucker Carlson a couple days ago. And he said when Trump wins, we are going to have like one of the largest mental health crises in this country, is what he was talking about with Tucker. And you're starting to see it with Greg, too, there. He's incoherent and unglued, isn't he? I ended that call because it was unhealthy for him to continue the conversation. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Justin from West Palm Beach.
Hey, West Palm. What's up?
Hey. Your last call, delusional, man. The reason why he doesn't know what menopause is because all of his female anatomy books are filled with male genitalia.
I don't know. I don't know anything about his personal life, and I don't want to know.
If anything Kamala did that was good during the interview, and that just goes to show you that she just flopped hard.
Oh, yes, it was bad. It was brutal.
Bill Clinton blames her for Lincoln Riley. She mentions turning the page from the last decade, which also includes 2 years of Obama, so I'm pretty sure he took that well.
I never thought I would agree with President Clinton. Notice I don't say former President Clinton. Everybody knows that. I never thought I would agree with President Clinton, but I sure do on that. Lincoln Riley would be alive today if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were not running this country.
The one thing I wish that got brought up, and I know they had very little time with her, the whole $50,000 tax deduction for starting a business.
If you're black.
Yeah, her spinning it on, you're going to get $50,000 to start a business, but those people that don't really have that strand of intelligence to understand what the definition of deduction means.
Yeah, you got to have the money in advance. You got to have the money to get the deduction.
Exactly. That was it.
All right, appreciate the call from West Palm. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve, from Sunrise.
Yes, Steve.
From Sunrise.
Yeah.
How you doing, Brian?
All right, how are you?
I was like you yesterday when I was listening. I was a little bit, reluctant to think Bret was going to do a good job, but like you, I think he did a fabulous job. My only question is what happened at the end there? What did he say? He kept saying he's getting beat by the people in the room.
Her staff, there were 4 of them waving their arms to end the interview. Plus, he was up against the clock. She showed up late. She didn't sit down for the interview until 5:15, and they had to have it done to get it on the air live at 6 on Fox. So he was up against the clock. She came in late on purpose because she knew he would have limited time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she probably thought that wasn't going to be an easy interview. So
it was a desperate interview because she's losing everywhere, and it was a very desperate interview, and it was a big mistake for her to do it.
Yeah, as bad as that interview was, I'm honestly thinking with no teleprompt, she didn't handle herself well, but that's probably about the most intelligent. Well, I just wouldn't even say intelligent, but probably the best way I've seen her handle herself. I don't think she handled herself well. She just kept going, Trump, 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 and exactly. Yeah, so I don't think that was good at all. Yeah, I'm with you, though. I think Bret did a great job. He should be commended on it. I was feeling like you yesterday listening to Steve. I almost felt like Steve was Kamala.
Steve wasn't on yesterday. The
day before yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Talking about it, and I'm like, I kind of agree with Brian here. I don't think he's going to handle any hard questions.
No, I was wrong. Bret Baier did a masterful job. Every step of the way, he did a great job.
Absolutely, we're both wrong. And for Greg, I mean, you were only saying comparison because your wife's going through it. You weren't bringing anything up. Like, I can't even listen to that guy. I mean, he's just delusional.
Well, if you noticed, I didn't bring up his wife or family because I'm a gentleman. I'm a gentleman with class.
Yeah, you're a class act. Family's off limits, man. We can disagree, but you know what? You never bring up the family, but
Well, this is like Mark Halperin told Tucker, the Trump derangement mental crisis in this country is going to be off the charts when Trump wins re-election, and we're already seeing it happen.
I'm actually worried about civil unrest.
Now, why? The majority's us. Hey, appreciate the call from West Palm. The Real Clear Politics average, they're giving the election to Trump with 302 electoral college votes to Kamala's 236. I mean, that's a landslide, and that's giving her Wisconsin, which is up in the air. So these are good times, people. These are good times. Let's see where. You know what? We got to take our last break of the first hour. All right. I want to remind all of you out there that at mypillow.com, boy, you're going to find great Christmas gifts. My wife and I do a lot of Christmas shopping at mypillow.com for everyone in our family and friends. The prices are lowest that they've ever been, but it's a gift that people keep and remember for years to come. Unlike anything else. We buy gifts for people and a couple months later they're gone. They don't even remember. But those MyPillows, whatever you get from MyPillow, by the way, they remember, whether it's the pillows, the mattress toppers, the blankets, the towel sets, the pet beds, the slippers, whatever it is. And it's free shipping site-wide on orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow that started it all, the standard MyPillow, was just $14.88. It's amazing, $14.88. And you can use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on all the specials at MyPillow.com. You know, the MyPillow My Coffee is 50% off with our promo code Kane. Those make great stocking stuffers. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the
Oh, boy, guys.
Show.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, guys.
Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Thank you, DWD.
To make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Inflation is crushing Broward families' dreams. The U.S. spends more on interest on debt than it does on national defense. This is not sustainable. Chris Eddy is a retired Air Force one-star general, a retired FBI intelligence leader, and a current Weston City commissioner who has balanced budgets. Help him stop the chaos by electing him as your next congressman in Florida's 25th district.
I'm Chris Eddy, and I approve this message.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings, just the way you love.
There's only one opening on the board, so if you're on hold, hang in there.
Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833-ALL-YEAR. That's 833-ALL-YEAR.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. Coming up on 48 minutes after the hour. Every line on the board is lit. I'm going to take the calls in the order in which they were received. And, of course, we're talking about this incredible job that Bret Baier did last night. He did a beautiful job. The maestro of the political candidates interview. All right, let's see. You know, I almost didn't come in today. You know, I got my air conditioning installed, my new air conditioning, which I just, it was so expensive. But anyway, we got this new air conditioning, and I woke up today for the first time with air conditioning in days and days and days, and I did not want to get out of bed. It felt so good to actually have air conditioning in the house again. But I'm here, choking up on my coffee. All right, let's go. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Charles.
Hey, Charles.
From California.
Charles in California. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I just wanted to let you know, I've been watching a lot of the polling analysis, and most people are predicting a 312 Trump victory, possibly more. usually underestimated in the polls.
Well, it depends. There's, 312, it depends on, there's a couple of states that some people may give him that others don't. Like some polls are giving him Wisconsin. The Real Clear Politics isn't. That's 10. So if you give him Wisconsin, it's 312. But I haven't seen any model where Trump's not winning. Have you? I haven't. Every model has him winning the Electoral College.
Oh, I've seen a couple Democrat pollers out there, and they have Kamala winning barely. But
I haven't seen anyone predicting her winning. I haven't seen any of that.
another thing that was shocking is I saw early voting here in California has trended tremendously to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Which hasn't happened since Ronald Reagan.
You know, I can't imagine California going for Trump, but you never know. But, you know, the Democrats in California are probably so arrogant, a lot of them don't turn out to vote because they feel it's in the bag. Why wait? Democrats are lazy by nature anyway. I don't know. Wouldn't that be something if Trump won California?
Could be possible if we didn't have a for governor.
Oh, Gavin Newsom, yes. Yeah. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call out in California. Take care, man. Good caller, good guy in California. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I want to talk about your topic totally, but I do have to say something. I mean, enough is enough with Greg. I mean, not for nothing. Greg accused you, said you build yourself up by knocking other people down. Does he listen to what he says every day on his darn phone to you? How he's and how he knocked me. I was just a bus driver. He was an attorney with he's so cerebral. And then he gets with Kathy, and that's what really's got me already. Huh? I hope you let me say what I'm going to say and you don't cut me, because this is very important. He accused you of bringing up Kathy on the phone, and he said to you, and quote, I would never bring up my wife on a phone. Do you remember he just said that to you?
Yes, I do. And I know what you're thinking.
That it's suicide.
Well, he said he called me on the air a few years ago and said that, which I don't know if it's true or not, but I didn't reference it.
I will, because I got a memory like an elephant. Everyone felt sorry for this guy because he said his wife killed herself. Married to him, I understand why, and I'm going to go really into the gutter with this guy because this is
No. We all agree he's got some problems. The thing about the wife, we don't know if it's true or not. I would rather err on the side of decency with that. You understand?
Yeah, but he cuts you up.
Yeah, but I don't know if he cuts me up pretty good. I think he cuts himself up. He shows himself for what he is.
Now that mic drop moment, okay? Not what you were right. That first cut that he did, where he said, "When did you know that Biden?"
Yes, he set her up for that with the Trump stuff. It was beautiful.
Now, I'll tell you what. When Biden had the debate, I watched that debate with President Trump, and I felt so bad for the American people. And so bad for our country to see a demented old man get up on not know where he was, he was lost, and it was so pitiful. To put that in front of the world was just disgusting. Now Kamala had to see that. She saw that all along. So she's lying right to the American people. Any Democrat that didn't see that Biden was out of it at that debate, I mean, you could see it. And they set Biden up with that debate. And he was out of it, and Kamala knew it. And Kamala, the big lie for all this.
Mm-hmm.
So that he's above everybody, knows everything going on, and she still had to lie yesterday that he knew what he was doing.
Now, do you think that Kamala is self-aware enough to know how bad she looked, or does she think she looks great?
Well, I'll put it this way: I think that yesterday's performance with Bret Baier was just as devastating as that debate. I tell you the truth.
Oh, with Biden? Yeah.
I watched it. Anybody that watched that interview yesterday, her career is over.
You know, I would say, and I'm thinking back, because I'm not talking about all interviews. I'm talking about interviews with the nominee of one of the two parties, the Democrat or the Republican, on the eve of the election. I have never seen a presidential candidate at that level get torn apart like that before, ever.
No, it was an implosion.
Yeah.
She's sitting there. She could not, everything reverts, all the talking points. That's what she tried to do. Filibuster and talking points and constantly knocking President Trump because that's all she's got. I mean, it's really ridiculous. She can't defend.
It's almost like they prepped her by saying, anytime you don't have an answer, you're on the ropes, just start talking about Trump.
Trump this, Trump. It's enough already. What are you going to do for the country? And that's why at the end when Bret Baier said, I hope you got that out of your system.
Yeah.
He said, no, I got more. She's running an anti-Trump campaign. That's it.
By the way, she's going to on the 20th, 3 days from now. Kamala turns 60. So when she says she's a new generation of leadership, she is a baby boomer. She was born in 1964. That's the last year of the baby boomers. She's a baby boomer, just like Donald Trump. So this idea that she's trying to pass, is she trying to pass herself off as a millennial or something? I mean, how old does she want? Is she? She's a 60-year-old lady, 2 years away from Social Security.
I'll tell you what else she did yesterday. She turned off the black males more. The black men. You remember Sandra's son, Aunt Esther?
Yes.
She looked like when she got unhinged, she looked like Aunt Esther.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, black men usually they don't want to see something like this, and she just, I mean, talking down. I mean, she's just out of control, man. And Bret Baier brought all of those qualities right out. He just drew everything out, sort of like you said, the maestro. He had to do it by talking over her, which was bad because she was filibustering because of her talking points. You know, people don't realize that they practiced this. She must have gone through practice for a couple of days knowing she was going to see Bret Baier.
Yep. All right, Richie, I appreciate the call. Take care. Good call. Great call. All the calls pretty good. Been pretty good today, except Greg's. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you have this working theory about her own side trying to sabotage her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so think about this. She should never have done this interview. I know she's desperate, but she should never have done this interview. Who gave her the idea to do this interview?
Mm-hmm.
Which advisor gave her that idea? Because they had to know that this would have been the result, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, Mike, I appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, you're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Good. I had a question for you.
Okay.
All this Kamala.
He said the C word. He didn't say the other word, I don't think. Okay. You came close. Well, yes. Go ahead.
So do you think this is all just a ruse?
A ruse?
An idiot like that.
Because I've talked about this a lot. Because Trump is unbeatable, and no one that is a credible candidate wanted to run against. Like Gavin Newsom thinks he in 4 years can get the nomination and be president, and he didn't want to run against Trump and lose and be a loser. All right, let's see. Where's next? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, Brian. It's Ben from Pamela.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, so I think like two things. First off, I find that I just saw that there was a little clip that went viral of Trump absolutely making fools out of the high council members of NATO, negotiating with these people, playing as hardball as you can get. And then I contrast that with Kamala's interview. And to see that this woman gets the first mildly confrontational interview, not to mention Trump advanced do that 3 times every day.
Mm-hmm.
She can't even handle it. And so, it's it plays into the same thing they did with Biden. They get someone in there who's an empty suit. And this is what worries me. They have nothing in their head, and the people running the show seem to have a penchant for going after people who are either stupid or just completely vacant and not even at home. And so, I mean, it worries me because I know her pick was intentional. She's historically been wildly unpopular.
She is I've been saying this for months. She is a sacrifice candidate, like Bob Dole in '96, like John McCain in '08. She's a sacrifice candidate. No, everyone knows she's going to lose, and that Trump's unbeatable. All right, listen, I got to run for the top, but great call, Ben from Pompano. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the phones. We're talking about Bret Baier's masterful job with Kamala. We'll be right back. Like John McCain in '08. She's a sacrifice candidate. All right, guys. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Now, guys, of course, Robert Allen Miltenberg is a sponsor of the program. His latest book, The Sound of Light, is available on Amazon. It's right there on the screen. There's a link to that book in the description of the video, and, of course, it's free on Kindle Unlimited. The Kindle edition is just $3. The paperback that I have is just $9.99. It's a book about politics, music, and it's science fiction as well. And Robert Allen Miltenberg, he's a regular watcher here on YouTube. He's in the chat quite a bit. And he's always been a supporter of mine since he's been a part of the program. So he's got some other great books, too. You can get them all when you look this one up. The Sound of Light from Robert Allen Miltenberg on Amazon. Again, there's a link in the description of the video. If you're on hold, hang in there. Phone's very busy.
There's also some major road work on the turnpike at the Beeline Highway, and 6th Avenue is closed between Grove Street to Congress Avenue for bridge replacement. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits in one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to Progressive.
I'll go right back to the phones when we get out of the break.
Progressive.com/careers. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel.
Oh, no, she's done. That was devastating.
Podcast live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch Football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and craft beer for just $25. And get this deal for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach. All the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens every Football Sunday in the Paddock. PBKC's upcoming shows include Let It Be November 8th, Jimmy Fallon November 15th and 16th, and Petty Nicks November 22nd. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com. And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15
What do you think Kamala's going to do when she's out of office? What do you think she'll do?
There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these
Think
are
her
the
and her
only two
husband will get
advertising on
divorced?
our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now.
What will her
Boca
post
at any
VP
Lab
career
Test
be?
Now at Coral
Vice
Springs.
presidents
Any Lab Test Now at
don't
Boca
have
is in the
really.
Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the
You don't
Western
hear much
Beach
from
is,
them.
between Palmetto
Very
Park Road and
rarely.
Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Show with Brian.
Alrighty, hour number 2 has begun. It's Thursday, October 17th, coming up on 5 minutes after 7 a.m. And, of course, we are talking about this incredible job that Bret Baier did last night, ending Kamala Harris's presidential campaign in a masterful interview. I was wrong yesterday, and, of course, I'm offering my sincere apologies to Bret Baier. Not only did he do a great job, he did something I've never seen a mainstream media person do before, and that was using the sound clips of her in her own words right there. That was amazing. All right, there's only one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Wallace from Kentucky.
Hey, Kentucky. What's up?
Good morning. It was a great interview. I loved it. Two things that I would have done differently. Brett should have told her that when she was asked a question about her policies, not to refer to President Trump. And two, she just interrupted him off and on. He should have told her simply 6 words. Madam President, I was talking.
You mean Madam Vice President? You know, Kamala, don't get, you'll scare people. I think, we could have done that. It's easy to Monday morning quarterback. But what he did was masterful in this. When you're interviewing a woman, women, they say they want equality, but they really don't. They want special treatment, especially a liberal woman. And he did it in a way so people couldn't say that he was rude to her. Right? So, because she's a woman. And look what happened. He got her angry. What he did, he got her angry and she started yelling. So so that was beautiful. It was like when I was talking to Greg too earlier. I mean, he lost his, too, just like Kamala. Maybe he's postmenopausal as well. I don't know.
It was wonderful.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
All right, take care. Appreciate that call. Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that to happen. Let's see who's next in line. I think this line. You're next. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Vince, what's up?
Yeah, it's a pretty good smackdown by Bret Baier for sure. I watched Kamala just kind of frantically try to get away from most of those questions during that interview for sure. And I'm glad to see that Trump's finally using YouTube the way he was before and starting to get into these other platforms and post things that this woman's saying, because it's, that's where his influence last time was really heavy, I believe. And, just to touch on a couple of things that are kind of happening, I know Greg Q kind of threw the narrative off of the show, but, I mean, what Georgia just did yesterday with their judge.
Tomorrow's open phones, Vince. Okay, but I'll tell you, Greg didn't throw anything off. I wouldn't give that much credit. But good call. Appreciate the call. All right. I want to try to keep things on topic today. Tomorrow's open phones, open Mag and Mike Friday. But today's Thursday. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Brian. It's Matthew from Pompano.
Hey, what's up, Matthew?
You agree from just yesterday that the line of questioning that Bret Baier took was much better to hammer her on the border and on her failed policies than to go into personal attacks, legitimate that they may be, from way back.
No, I don't agree. I'm not agreeing with that. No, I'm not agreeing with that.
Oh, so you're changing your statement that it wasn't masterful. You would have preferred him to start the way that you said yesterday.
No, not at all. I'm not taking back my statement.
I'm not sure.
There's an old phrase. What is it? There's different ways to skin a cat. I guess the Haitians of Springfield agree with that too. But he skinned a cat in a different way than I would have, but we both would have done masterful jobs.
Okay, I think he was very effective.
Yes.
I personally thought that hammering her on policy, on her failed immigration, and not letting her dodge and weave, and actually saying, but you reversed these Trump policies that remain in Mexico. Do you want to apologize? She could not do that. I think that was some of the most effective lines of questioning.
Oh, yeah.
And your audience may differ on this. I actually think, again, Trump is very likely to win, but it's not yet guaranteed. And I don't think she hurt herself as bad as everybody in this audience thinks her interview was. I think she came off about as well as she possibly could.
As well as she get no. Why do you think Kamala Harris did that interview?
I think she is behind.
She's desperate.
And I think she went, and so let me just finish if I can. I think she went to where she possibly could peel off some voters.
No, she's desperate, and that was a lifeline, and it was a mistake. Everyone's talking about it now.
I don't agree. I don't think she lost any voters yesterday. I think she may have picked up a couple or may have not, but she ends that interview in the same position or slightly better.
No, I don't think so. That was the first that was the first interview she did that wasn't scripted. And when she would not apologize, her response to the rapes and murders of these young women because of her dreamers, that was brutal. That was brutal, and she didn't apologize, and this no.
What she got to do, she's a politician. She's not going to say the Democratic record is a failed record. I mean, you can't expect her to just say you're right and totally wrong.
No, that was a weak. That everything she said was weak, and I think a lot of people saw her for the first time in her true light, which is a vacuous person. That's scary. I think seeing her there was scary for people.
I think mostly the same, but the lens is there's very few undecideds, but most people have made up their mind. If you thought you were yesterday, you still think you were, right? So most people on the Fox network had an opinion of her. She may, and I stress may, have changed a couple of minds who saw her as not...
No. There's a lot of Democrats plan on voting for Trump, okay? A lot of Democrats, especially black Democrats. There's a lot of Democrats planning on voting for Trump, and they're a little uncomfortable voting Republican. And I think what she did yesterday is give them the okay, these Democrats, to vote for Trump. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. We'll take another one before the break. What the heck? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I think that it was so great. Everybody saw that the real Kamala Harris, man, she's just a nasty, never stop talking woman that has nothing to say. You know, she was so annoyed. I'm surprised she didn't get up and walk out. But Bret Baier, I would have loved to have him say, you know, you're not here to filibuster. I asked you a question, keep interrupting me. You know, but like you said, Monday quarterback.
Listen, he's not going to listen. He's a journalist. He wants to look like a fair and balanced reporter. I'm wearing a MAGA hat. The way I would go with the interview would be a lot different. What he was attempting to do was do a proper interview and not come off bias, and he did a masterful job. It's different than what you or I would have done, but we're advocates. We're MAGA advocates, so of course we would do things different. I think he did a perfect job. Bret Baier.
I was surprised. I was thinking that Bret Baier was a Democrat and he was going to be easy on it, but man, he asked the questions.
I mean, when he played the video of the mother of the little girl that was raped and murdered by her dreamers, oh, that was rough. That was brutal.
Yeah, I would say today she must be, her and the people must be saying...
He basically said, here's a group of young women who have been raped and murdered because of your policies. Let's hear from the mother of one of the young girls that was raped and murdered because of you, Madam Vice President. And her response, she had no sympathy. She was pissed. You could see it in her face. She was pissed.
Yeah, as it puts her hands up, this is annoying. It's
Now, I want to say one thing. By the way, hey, Doug, thanks for the call. I want to say this going into the break, and after the break, we'll get back to the phone. My wife had noticed the earrings. She was wearing the same earrings as the debate that she wore during the debate. The ones that people say are that she can hear from, that are like headphones, AirPods or something going on there. And I don't know too much about earrings, but my wife does, and she says it is women don't wear the same earrings all the time. Why is she wearing the same earrings all the time if it's not to have an earpiece in? What do you guys think about that? Very same earrings that she wears all of the time. My wife says I don't notice earrings even, but women do. All right, your thoughts on that are certainly welcome. All right, we'll take our first break of the second hour and be right back.
Right after 10 a.m., it's all back on the air, right here on South Florida's true oldies channel.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone.
It's freezing in here. I gotta turn the air up.
You'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
All natural and can restore your hormones to where they were when you were 20. You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Talk about amazing kielbasa. Crocus Deli in North Lauderdale is a must if you love Polish food. They have a variety of Polish sausage, bacons, Polish cheeses, ham and pork loins, even Polish hot dogs. Crocus Deli has such amazing homemade foods like goulash, pork and bacon, homemade soups, and more. You have to check out Crocus Deli. The bakery is out of this world. Stop by for delicious Polish food. CrocusDeliFL.com for directions or call 954-722-8006.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-66.
Remind me at the next break. I'll show the back of the shirt. I've forgotten what it says on the back.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, anywhere in the world at True Oldie.
All right, callers on hold. Stand by. Coming up on 19 minutes after the hour, you're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig, and, of course, we're talking about this spectacular takedown that Bret Baier did of Kamala Harris. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to remind you, the countdown to, this is our 6th Steve Kane, Brian Craig MAGA cruise, leaving March 30th on the Celebrity Ascent, and most of you are invited. You know, we do have some people like Liberal Al the John's not invited. Greg 2's not invited. You know, our cruise, it's great. I mean, we have this great MAGA family. The family gets bigger each and every cruise that we do. This one is 7 days. And Celebrity Cruise Line, you know, the reason our first cruise was not with Celebrity, okay? It was with Royal Caribbean. And after that, we started with Celebrity. We partnered with Celebrity, and they've been sponsoring us for years now. And Celebrity Cruise Line is a luxury adult cruise line. There's hardly any children on board, which I like. I mean, I love kids, but not on vacation. My kid's grown. I don't, you know what I mean? And it's just a great time. And when you come with our group, you know, we're a private group. We have a private dinner every night, private events throughout the week. Our shore excursions that we do at every stop we have are private and exclusive to our group. It's just a great time that we have. And everything's included. Drinks, the 5-star meals, and Wi-Fi, all that's included. And, you know, the thing about the food, I don't think people, you know, when you're on a cruise, you know, when you're on our cruise, you can order as many dinners as you could order 20, you could order 50 dinners and they'll bring them to you. I order 2 entrees every night. Not that I'm a big eater, but the menu's so good. The food is spectacular. I order 2 entrees each and every night. And on the last cruise, my daughter and I, one night on one of the last nights out, we were up really late. It was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And my daughter and I have different cabins. She was on one end of the deck. I was on the other. And I called her up and I said, I was going to order room service. She said, so was I. So I go to my daughter's cabin. We ordered everything on the room service menu and they brought it to us. I made a YouTube video, covered up the whole bed. Oh man, we had a feast. We had a great time. Join us. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. His number, 561-244-5779. Those of you that are already booked, call Ian up because we're planning a bunch of stuff. We've got some events that we've never done before on this cruise. We're bringing back the MAGA Rita party, by the way, but we have some events we've never done before we're doing for the very first time on this ship. Give Ian a call, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Jack. How are you?
Jack, what's up, Jack?
I want to say that I'm very proud of you. You did something that I didn't think that you could do. And that was admit that you were wrong. And that is the first step of healing. I'm very proud of you.
Well, how long have you been listening to the show?
Well, I started listening to you since about the time they raided Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago.
During the break-in at Mar-a-Lago on that case which has been dismissed by the judge. Okay. If you were a long-time listener, you would know that when I'm wrong, I will be the first to admit it. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. It doesn't happen that often, but when I am, like I was with Bret Baier, it is...
You're wrong on Wednesday, November 6th.
I don't know what that even means. You know? But this is what Open Phones is tomorrow. What I was wrong about...
That you're wrong.
If Donald Trump loses, will I what? How is that? If Donald Trump loses, we're not going to have time to apologize for anything because Western civilization will collapse. But if Donald Trump were to lose, what would I admit being wrong about?
All your gaslighting?
See, you hear what's going on here? This is the beginning of that mental collapse that Mark Halperin was talking about. The Trump derangement sufferers, when Trump wins, are going to have just major collapses, and we're starting to see early signs of it now. Greg 2 in the first hour, and what's your name again? I forgot your name. The guy from Sarasota. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack? Jack is your name?
His name is Jack.
Okay, Jack. You know, we're starting to see the Trump derangement syndrome going on now, starting to spring up in you. So how did Kamala do last night?
According to people at MSN,
No, I'm not talking about MSN. You know, I'm talking to you. How do you think she did?
I didn't watch her.
Oh, you didn't watch? Well, okay. You should watch something before you comment on it. Let me go back to some other callers of people that actually know what they're talking about. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
That was Cape Coral.
Cape Coral. What's up?
Yeah, I was watching that. Started watching that last night, and then I thought, it's just going to be a regular, you know, feed the regular questions that they wanted. But then I switched. Then I came back a little bit later, and I'm sitting there. I better check it out. And then here, I couldn't believe he started asking her these questions, and then she started kind of skipping around, blaming Trump, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm going, oh, this is going to be interesting.
When he walked her, he set her up so many times. It was masterful. I've never seen someone in the mainstream media do that. Not to a Democrat. Never.
I was surprised, but you know, one question I always wondered why they'd never ask is, what would you do when you come face to face with Putin, Xi, if you have anybody from Ukraine, you know, Netanyahu, Kim Jong-un? Are you going to sit there and laugh and blame Trump?
If you can't handle Bret Baier, how are you going to handle Putin?
Exactly. You know, I mean, Putin's probably just moving in missiles.
You know, I will tell you, in the beginning of the interview, I thought, oh boy, this is going to suck. But then it was a masterful job. What he did in the beginning was he did not want, you know, when you're talking to a woman like that, you have to show respect as a gentleman. He didn't want people to say that he was rude or inappropriate with her, so he let her get rude before he came in being a little more hostile. He let her lose it. And he did so well, she lost her cool and blew her stack. She got hysterical.
Yeah, that was masterful. And then the look on her face when he played those.
Oh. These young American women have been raped and murdered by your dreamers, Madam Vice President. What say you? Oh my goodness.
Yes. Okay.
All right, I appreciate the call. Yeah, absolutely. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Dennis.
Hey, Dennis, what's up?
Hey man, I thought it was so amazing. First of all, you know, the guy didn't even watch the debate, but had all the answers in the world.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like they sent him talking points.
Right. It's amazing to me those people vote. It's crazy to me that you're not informing yourself. But the reason why I was calling is because I thought it was kind of amazing. I haven't seen journalism. I didn't think Bret could do it either. But I haven't seen journalism like that since maybe the late 80s.
No, I'm not seeing a takedown. And you know, Bret Baier personally despises Trump, and he still did what was right. That's why he deserves an award, Bret Baier. I'm serious. For taking down Kamala.
No, he does. You're right, absolutely. And then, like you said, whenever he had the issue with when he was talking about, you know, the lady losing her child, she acted like she was sorrowful, but then right after that, the word "but" came out.
Yeah, there's no but with that.
Nothing about this young lady, man.
Well, she's a child. You know, Kamala's a childless cat lady. She doesn't connect to a woman who's lost her child. You know, one of the worst moments for Kamala is about the transgendered surgery for prisoners. I'll do what the law says. And she said Donald Trump allowed trans surgery, and Bret Baier said, no, he did not. Not one happened. Yeah, well, I'll do what the law says, which means yes. She'll...
What I mean by Bret holding back, because he could have easily been, you're right, I hate Trump. You know, you're exactly right, but he didn't. He stuck to his guns.
And you know, and if he would have done that, he would have been getting high fives from his bosses at Fox because they hate Trump. And what he did, what Bret Baier did last night was not only spectacular textbook classic journalism, it took guts what Bret Baier did.
Really did. I hope he still hangs in there because he's going to turn out to be a good one.
Yeah.
Pull it off, but he did.
He did. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and be right back with your calls.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, yeah, he did great. He did a great job. I'll be right back, guys. Okay.
The 8 o'clock hour is one live read. I don't understand
what's he saying.
It's a Brian Craig endorsement. That's it. So I don't know which endorsement.
I'm going to assume it's game day.
Game day. All right.
I think yes. But
it's yeah, Sloman's and Brian Craig endorsement. So if it's game day, it's it's
Or even simpler, you can go to twowinnerjoe.com.
But it could be, I don't know.
Free copy of Joe's book.
You know, if you ask her later, we can make it up tomorrow if it's not then. You know what I mean? Like if it's somebody else we can do it, I can do it make good tomorrow.
I already sent her an email.
Medicare recipients listen up.
She won't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know she.
She'd have to look at her system.
True.
Yeah.
This open enrollment period, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Oh, the shirt. Yeah, I forgot what it says on the back. Can you guys see? Let's see if you can zoom in. I forgot what it says. You guys can you see it?
This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment. You're on the radio.
Was that good enough? Raised the bar, failed the bar, worked at a bar, lives at a bar, can't spell the bar, should be behind bars. Okay. That's funny. It is funny. Yeah, I forgot what was on the back of the shirt. That's funny. Thank you, Barbara in Tennessee.
954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig.
Hey guys, don't forget, follow me on X. If you don't already, all my show prep is there. You get all my show prep. All the sound bites I play. That's today's show, but like the next one I'm probably gonna play is this one, which is Sunny Hostin. But if you go through, I got all the sound bites, all the articles I'm going to talk about. They're all there. Brian Craig Show, yes.
And his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now.
All right, coming back.
Cell phone 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold. Stand by. 35 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, of course, we've been praising the incredible, masterful job that Bret Baier did last night, ending the presidential dreams of Kamala Harris, who, in a very desperate attempt to salvage her campaign, went on Fox News yesterday and did the worst I've ever seen a candidate do. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Never Trumper Steve here. I haven't spoken to you for a little bit.
Oh, okay. You still a never Trumper?
Still am, especially after last night's show. It's funny how you take from the interview whatever you want to take, but I want to remind your audience, and maybe even you don't remember this, who Bret Baier really is. Bret Baier, during the 2020 election.
No, slow down. No, slow down. So it does. See, that's why, yes, I am. Open Phones is on Friday. Bret Baier, Steve, we're talking about the interview last night. The fact that he hates Trump is all the more reason to commend him for his that was real journalism. He went against what he personally felt about Donald Trump.
I started, before you started over-talking me, he interfered with the election.
No, you're not gonna get us sidetracked on that. Excuse me, you're shouting at me like Kamala was shouting at Bret Baier. No, you're over talking me. I'm the host. You're the caller. I'm going to stop down and comment on what it is that you're attempting to do. I tell you, these guys, or what? What do you mean? I better or what? What do you mean I better? What does that mean?
That would make you an honest broker.
Oh, okay. It sounded like a threat. Did it sound like a threat? This is what you're doing. Okay? I give you, and you know what you're doing, but I'm talking. Excuse me. You're the one who brought up something I wasn't talking about and is on a tangent. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience about what you are attempting to do. And with a lesser talent, you'd get away with it. Like if I were Joyce Kaufman, you would hijack the whole show with what you're doing. But I'm not Joyce Kaufman. No, I'm not 5 seconds ahead. I'm 5 steps ahead. I'm 5 steps ahead, not seconds. I only use the dump button when someone uses profanity. Not because of... There was one time you said something and it sounded like profanity and I hit the dump. Maybe I was wrong.
Ever. That is not the truth, and you know that.
It is the truth. Okay. No. No, I'm talking to the audience about what you're attempting to do. Okay, so I'm not talking to you. Oh yeah, you said a lot. I'm going to discontinue. I want to talk about you, but you got to stop talking. Okay, I don't need your comment on what I'm saying right now. Wait till I'm done. I'm talking to the audience. Okay, about you. All right. Bret Baier hates Trump like the plague. Trump even attacked Bret Baier recently on Fox and Friends. Ducey asked President Trump if he would be willing to do a Fox News debate with Kamala. This was about 2 weeks ago. President Trump said no, not with Bret Baier or Martha McCallum moderating. He hates Trump. Trump called him out as a fake news journalist and a hack. He went against his own personal feelings about Donald Trump and did his job properly with Kamala and filleted her last night. What this guy on the line, Never Trumper Steve, is trying to do is all of you out there that are commending Bret Baier, he's trying to take Bret Baier's credibility away and try to portray him as a MAGA guy talking about things from 4 years ago, which we're not going to talk about things from 4 years ago, Steve. And your little psych op is not going to work here. Not if you're going to talk about 4 years ago. Talk about last night.
I'm talking about last night. And this you're not going to be able to wiggle out of. When he played the clip of the statement that Trump made about the enemy within and played the snippet, which did not accurately portray what he said at the town hall meeting later on within the same show, about how Nancy Pelosi is the enemy, how all these Democrats are the enemy of the people, and he just might, in the end, have to use the military to silence.
No, excuse me. Slow down. Oh yeah, he was very good. First off, oh please.
Dollars for lying to their audience. That they wouldn't have done that with that snippet.
Mm-hmm.
What is your answer to that snippet?
Okay. First of all, it wasn't the best clip. I'll give you that. It was not the best clip. But she didn't get him on that. Donald Trump has never talked about locking up using the military people like Nancy Pelosi or American citizens. He's talked about. Excuse me. Let me finish. Let me finish. He's talking about using the military to lock up these illegal gang members and other criminals that are raping and murdering our women. What he's talking about with the enemy within, with the Democrat Party, that doesn't mean imprisoning them. The Democrat Party is involved in organizing a very deadly invasion of the United States, right? And that makes them the enemy. I'm the host. I decide the subject, not callers, okay? Except on Open Phone Friday, okay? I decide what the subject is, okay? The Democrat Party have organized an invasion that's been quite deadly in this country of the illegals, okay? That does make them the enemy within. But he hasn't talked about using the military to lock them up. He's and you know this.
Well, then Trump must be the enemy because the amount of illegals were coming in at the end of his 4 years.
That's not true. Go back and watch. Listen, go back and watch when that Never Trumper shot President Trump in Butler. And right before that Never Trumper, so that he could vote for Nikki Haley and try to stop Trump in the primary. But when right before that Never Trumper shot President Trump was looking at the illegal chart of the illegals coming into the country, and the lowest point on that chart was his presidency. Hey, Steve, take care. Thanks for the call. Oh, my goodness. See how he's trying to discredit Bret Baier? I want to talk about Angel Water. I was talking with Rocky from Angel Water yesterday. And I've been telling you guys, the Angel Water, all the water in my home is filtered before it enters the home through the Angel Water water filtration system. It's outside my house. It filters everything before it comes into the home. And I'll never buy bottled water again. And I've been telling people the water tastes like Fiji water, which is upscale bottled water. I love Fiji water. And I was talking to Rocky yesterday, And I said, I'm showering every morning in Fiji water. I didn't think about it until I was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I get that, yes. Because all the water, including the water in my shower, bathtub, sinks, even the toilet, is filtered with the angel water. It's all Fiji quality water. It's absolutely amazing. Stop drinking that toxic water coming out of your faucet. And by the way, even the ice cubes, okay, are angel water ice cubes, because all the water in the house is filtered by the angel water purification system. The angel water system takes out toxins and chemicals that other filtration systems don't. I'm going to give you their number. Give them a call. Rocky will come out at no charge and test your water like he tested mine. And I'll tell you, I was in shock at what I've been drinking and bathing in and cooking with, and my family too. And I've lived in that house over 20 years. For over 20 years, we've been cooking, bathing, and drinking a lot of things that you do not want to put into your body, but no more, because we have the Angel water filtration system. Now, right now, they're offering an incredible offer to listeners of our radio station. Angel Water will give you a free under-the-sink reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner. Isn't that something? I have both of these, the under-the-sink reverse osmosis system and the whole house refiner. So they're going to give you a free under-the-sink reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner and 12 months no interest financing with no prepayment penalty. Absolutely amazing. Give Angel Water a call, all right? 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585 for Angel Water. We'll be right back.
Cold.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry.
Morning. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, the Siegel Law Group, for years we've been saying that we help people provide protection for their loved ones and peace of mind for them. And, so protection is important, but people have different things that they're interested in protecting, so it's very personal. So, for example, you might be interested in protecting your family, and it might be protecting them from what? Protecting them from probate, protecting them from guardianship, protecting them from losing their inheritance if they get divorced in the future or get sued in the future. Or maybe another client may come in and they're concerned about just protecting themselves from losing all of their assets in case they or their spouse become ill and have to spend down their assets because of the high cost of long-term care. So everybody's goals are different. So at the Siegel Law Group, our goal is to help people protect what matters and provide them with peace of mind.
Absolutely. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. They have offices throughout South Florida with the primary office in Boca, but offices from Miami north through Palm Beach Gardens. There's also an office in Naples. But in this day and age of Zoom and video calls, no matter where you are in Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. By the way, you have a beautiful office, I got to tell you, Barry. My accountant is right next door, and I went to see the accountant the other day, and I saw your building. You have a beautiful building over there, your primary office, I must say. Attorney Barry Siegel. Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. My accountant's a much smaller building next door. But the Siegel Law Group offers no-charge consultations if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, too, guys. And take advantage of it, okay? 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782 is the toll-free number. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel. We'll finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back.
You take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, we've heard from a lot of, never Trumper Steve. Can we call him a Democrat? He admitted to me he was a Democrat a couple months ago. But we've heard from several Trump haters today. They've all been unhinged. One wanted to talk about my wife. Never Trumper Steve wanted to try to discredit Bret Baier and call him a MAGA guy for, I forgot what the other ones did. But we have not, or the one guy didn't, he said he did claim to have not seen the interview, which was BS. These Never Trumpers we've been hearing from today, I give them credit for having the guts to call in, but they've all been unhinged. Wait until Trump wins re-election. If I could ask Trump to do one thing on Inauguration Day, is do a live stream of him walking back into the Oval Office for the first time. Wouldn't you like to see that? Walking in there like the boss. That would be beautiful. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes?
Oh, it's me. This is Joan from Tampa Bay, and I'm back in Tampa Bay.
Oh, great.
I got power.
It's awesome.
I thought Bret Baier did an excellent job. She didn't answer one single question. All she did was bash Trump. Also, did you see Trump on Univision? He had the same audience she had.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He did a very good job.
He did an excellent job, but she did not answer one question or give one policy. The only thing she kept saying about the border was they need a bill, they need a bill, they need a bill. They don't need a bill. Trump did it with an executive order.
They got everything. We've got an Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Space Force, and a Border Patrol. They got everything already. That's nobody buys that line of crap. Oh, yes, we were going to solve it all, but this bill didn't get passed because of Trump, who's not in power right now.
Right, but the thing is, Trump did it with an executive order and spoke with the president of Mexico and had remained in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that needed to be done. They undid it, and they didn't redo it. And she had 4 years to redo it. But they undid.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I think it was a devastating interview for her. It was devastating.
I think so too. I mean, because she didn't even answer one single question. All she did was bash Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of. Do you remember that game show with Regis Philbin, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And they had a lifeline, right? They would narrow it down. They would take a couple of the clues away. You could phone a friend. I forgot what the other. Oh, you could ask the audience. Her lifeline was Trump. Anytime she was pressed, it was bash Trump, bash Trump. That was her lifeline, and it was pretty pathetic.
Because people could see right through that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That was not a lifeline. No, that sunk her.
Well, that was her. Well, you got to understand. In her circle, everybody hates Trump, right? So that she thought it would play, but it was really bad. It came off really bad.
It didn't work.
No. All right. Take care. Appreciate the call, Joe. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Hey, my name's James. First time caller from Delray. How you doing?
Welcome. Very well. Doing good.
I love your show. I love your show, man. Hey, I tell you something. Bret did a great job last night. He kept pressing her on the issues that he wanted to answer to, and she just became unhinged. Just like some of your callers. I love the fact that you have callers from the other side calling, because they prove they're a bunch of idiots.
Oh, yeah. They've all been unhinged today. Every single one of them.
The numbers are going the other way, and I mean, I don't believe the polls in the first place, number one. I mean, Trump's way ahead. I believe he's way ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence Jones, when he goes to these different places, Lawrence Jones does a great job going in and asking, different people, where are you going? And he's getting different responses. But for the most part, they're saying it's the economy, it's the border, it's crime.
That's right. That's right.
It's.
So this is your first time calling. Are you a long time listener, first time caller? Or are you new?
I've been listening to you for about 6 months or so.
Well, welcome. That's new by our standards. We're the longest running radio show. So
I found you guys and I said, I love this. I mean, I love the fact. I mean, there's idiots that call into you. I'm going, wow, what a bunch of morons.
Oh yeah.
They can't find a single fact to have an argument about, but they just want to bash Trump. Stop with the hatred for Trump and come up with an idea that says this is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is he's great for this country. He'll do great for the border. He'll do great for the economy. I mean, they're trying. Oh, and she kept bringing up Millie. I hate Millie. I think Millie's an idiot.
Well, Millie committed treason on January 6th. He contacted his counterpart in the Chinese army. He took over the nuclear arsenal, which he has no authority over. He was in communication with Nancy Pelosi about removing Donald Trump. This guy, he very well could be court-martialed in Trump's second term for what he did on January 6th.
They keep bringing up that he's going to, nobody brings up the fact that she's the one who said, I'm going after everybody that supported him, and I'm going after each and every one of you. She's the one who said that.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, welcome to the show, and very good call. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, take care. So, Sunny Hostin from The View, she went on MSNBC to do damage control last night because Kamala did so poorly. Let me pull this up. Here we go. This is Sunny Hostin on MSNBC after Kamala was filleted by the great Bret Baier.
A little bit dismissive. I think it's of that fact. I think it's very important when you have your own former vice president not endorse you.
Well, first off, she's talking about Pence. Kamala has her own president undermining her. He told her to shut up the other day in a cabinet meeting, Thursday or Friday. He told her, shh, he said to her, shh, on television at a cabinet meeting. So she's got it worse, and he's been undermining her the whole time. But anyway, back to Sunny Hostin. This is her analysis of the Bret Baier-Kamala interview.
Do you think that he approached her differently than other people he interviews?
See, you hear that said? That's Ari Melber, liberal jerk. Hear the setup. Obviously, what he's saying is, do you think he treated her different because she's black? Give me a break.
Her differently than other people he interviews?
I saw a little bit of the panel after the interview, and one woman said that she came in hot and also said that she became angrier. I thought he came in hot, and what I am very tired of is this trope of the angry black woman. She was not angry. She was in command of the facts. She was passionate. Passion does not equal anger. I'm often called, Donald Trump actually called me dumb at a rally recently.
Because you are.
You have these tropes that are used against women and women of color in particular.
Okay. Donald Trump did not call Sunny Hostin dumb because she's black. She's just a dumb person. There's nothing. If she were white, black, whatever, she'd still be dumb. All right? And so far as Kamala Harris, nothing about the way she was treated had anything to do with her not being white. I can't say, her ethnicity is a little confusing to people, and she's very vague about it. But when they start hiding behind race like that, that's when you know they are in trouble. They try to use race as a shield. Okay, our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Anna La Rosa.
Uh-huh. You're on the air. What's on your mind?
I am totally confused. Why can't they give Kamala rules where she doesn't mention Trump at all? She'd have nothing to talk about.
You cannot give Kamala Harris rules. You understand that she has had sex and openly dated men who were married to other women. She doesn't even abide by the rules of civilization, right? So how can you expect her to go by an interview rule when she's an adulteress, a homewrecker?
Anything about herself. She's always talking about Trump. Let it go. Just let's hear.
Well, why do you think she does that? I'm sure you know.
Of course we know that, but that's...
Well, she's got, what is she supposed to say? Go into her record? She can't do that. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. So MSNBC, listen to this, guys. This is hilarious. MSNBC, they're in Arizona interviewing voters.
And should note, we did not find a single person who audibly would tell us that they voted for Kamala Harris. These were Trump supporters getting out to vote early in the all-important Mojave County. Take a listen.
Well, who knows that they're Trump supporters, all the people in the county, that, you know, maybe some of them are Democrats.
Some of our conversations.
Well, the difference is going to be that everybody's coming out early, and everybody that we talked to has made a special effort this year to vote, and you can see it here in the parking lot. You know, this library's usually got 5 cars in it. There's a ton of cars in it now.
Said you voted early for the first time.
For the first time.
Why did you vote early this year?
Honestly, because Donald Trump told me to.
That's right.
What a good answer. He keeps saying it, and I've been thinking about it, and so here I am.
We met one man who did not vote in 2020, but he said he was horrified by the state of the country, so he is voting here in 2024. We met 3 other voters, one that moved from California, one that moved from Oregon, blue states, who said that they moved here and were eager to vote. So it's those types of voters that not only Republicans are watching come to the polls, but also Democrats have a close eye, understanding that they need to really win the Maricopa County area to make up for any potential juicing of turnout here among the MAGA faithful in places like Mojave County, Jose.
WYRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown and Herrin Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Burrow from the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and right now it's 68 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 78 degrees with partly cloudy conditions starting from 9 to 10 a.m. with windy conditions expected after 10 a.m. So make sure you stay cool, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your Thursday.
Weather brought to you by All-Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All-Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Here's some fallen power cables. This traffic report is sponsored by Audible. At Camino Real, just west of I-95, there's fallen
Just-
power cables, so be careful there. There's also
Steve, you there?
a crash on I-95
Okay.
northbound at the off-ramp to 45th Street. And that right lane of the off-ramp is blocked. And a wreck on I-95 southbound approaching Atlantic Avenue is on the left shoulder of the road. There's a crash at 441 just north of Stribling Way and at Glades Road at Lyons Road. Are you if you're heading out, soak up that sun with
No,
stories on
I don't think it's not from the side that votes for Trump.
But I'm just wondering if these outside agitators will start up on election day. Let's say you win. I mean, let's remember you've got 50,000 Chinese nationals in this country in the last couple of years. There are people on the terrorist watch list, 350 in the last couple of years. You got, like you said, 13,000 murderers and 15,000 rapists. What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful election day.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in North Carolina. He spends most of his day sleeping. I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard.
Election day.
Is the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family-owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with
I'm gonna play that when we get
Joe
back.
and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook, go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat.
Well,
lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees. Cutting the
Are you
I don't think it's enough.
expecting?
insulation removal, rack proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier for 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner Scott. It's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing.
We'll be back right after this.
Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around. These are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Hour number 3 has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, yeah, I wanted to play one clip before we get into the Bret Baier stuff, okay? Because there's a slander taking place against our favorite president, Donald Trump. And I wanted to play the actual clip of what he said, unedited, okay? Kamala was talking about this last night. Never Trumper Steve, who told me a couple months ago he's a Democrat, and others keep referencing that Trump is going to use the military to lock up political enemies. So I pulled up the clip. It's him being interviewed by Bartiromo on Fox on October 13th. All right? 4 days ago. This is it. So I'm going to play it in its entirety unedited. It's her interviewing Trump. And you'll hear exactly what he says. And I think what he says is perfect. And I don't think anyone that has half a brain cell could disagree with what he actually said, as opposed to what the Rachel Maddows and the Kamalas are telling you that he said. So here it is. This is Bartiromo interviewing Trump about using the National Guard to lock up people.
Are you expecting chaos on Election Day?
No, I don't think so. Not from the side that votes for Trump.
But I'm just wondering if these outside agitators will start up on Election Day. Let's say you win. I mean, let's remember, you've got 50,000 Chinese nationals in this country in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You have people on the terrorist watch list, 350 in the last couple of years. You got, like you said, 13,000 murderers and 15,000 rapists.
Right.
What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful Election Day.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in all fairness. He spends most of his day sleeping. I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of Election Day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Okay, so what he's obviously talking about, he's not talking about Democrats like, Pelosi or Gavin Newsom or AOC. He's talking about Antifa, who, if you remember, attacked the White House and burned down that church and were burning down D.C. Remember that, Steve? So he's obviously talking about Antifa and others. He's not talking about locking up members of Congress that are Democrats and all of that. And this is constantly being referenced, even by Kamala last night. So I play that because I want the actual context to be heard. All right, so what do you want? Did you see the interview?
I predicted exactly what was going to happen. Why were you so off base on your prediction?
I guess I didn't think that Bret Baier would stand up and do the right thing, even though he hates Trump.
Underestimated him.
Yeah, he did a great job. He should get an award for that interview. You know what what he did is a lot like what we do. He did a lot of setups, and there was one in particular that was my favorite. Let me pull this one up. He did such a good setup on this. If I'd have thought we were going to do this, I would have had it queued up. But the one when he asked about the cognitive decline. Let me see if I can find this clip. I played it earlier. I can't find it now. I'll find it in a bit and played it.
He showed himself right there that as an accomplished talk show host that knows none of that.
Oh, here it is.
Unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's.
Your opponent with a question.
Yes.
That's exactly what he did with that. He said, "What do you think of?"
Yeah.
He was left.
Here's the one clip I was talking about, and this is with the cognitive decline of Biden. And what he did, that was the technique, is he started talking about what she said about Trump's mental capacities, and she got all excited, but he switched it into Biden. And listen.
He's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable?
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Oh, and you could see in her face, she's like, oh, boy, did he say... Even as dumb as she is, even she knew. No.
The idea of a good interviewer is asking questions that your opponent can't answer.
And one thing he did that I've never... Yeah, one thing that Bret Baier did that I've never seen someone else do in the mainstream media. We do it, but they don't do it. But he did it last night. He was playing clips of her in her own words. And he pulled up this clip from 2019 of her talking about transgendered surgeries being paid for by taxpayers in prison. And he says, do you still support that? She said, I support the law. Donald Trump allowed trans surgeries. And he says, no, he did not. There were none that occurred in his 4 years. And then he also got her to say, you're responsible for what happens during your administration. Well, she's the administration now. I mean, when I say that he deserves an award, I don't mean symbolically. He deserves an actual award from his colleagues in the media that said, you are the best. No, Dana Perino, she was disgusting last night. She said this to Bret Baier, who did the best interview I've ever seen of a presidential candidate on the eve of the election. I've never seen someone filleted like this at that level. She said, well, she should have done more interviews. She would have been, she wouldn't have been so rusty. She would have had some practice. So she was taking his talent and his skill away. And Dana Perino was saying, oh, if she was just rusty, so she didn't know. No, that was, let me tell you, what Bret Baier did was highly skilled technique that only a handful of people in America have that skill. Steve and I are two of them. He's a third. Okay? So, and I learned it from Steve, right? And I'm not teaching it to anybody. I'm keeping the secret. But there's only a handful of people that really know that technique. I'm not just tooting our own horn here. It's a very difficult technique. Only a handful of people know how to do it. And Bret Baier did it. And, another thing, too, she came in late to the interview. The interview started. They recorded that interview.
That's strictly a power play. Strictly for an insecure person.
Yes.
Like like she is, that's her way of establishing control.
Well, she screwed up. It didn't work.
Again, all these things it's like chess. All these things, there's a move, and then there's a counter move. And she left herself open to the counter move.
Yeah, and well, what happened is she came in at 5:15, right? Came in at 5:15, and and they recorded the interview, right? They had to have it ready to go on air at 6 p.m., 45 minutes after it started. So what he did, he actually did on a time crunch that I don't think people can appreciate. 45 minutes till airtime, he's recording. And he was so calm, cool, and collected. And he got her to yell. She lost her cool and started yelling at him. There was nothing about it that was not disastrous.
It was great technique.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd like to move on to something
Well,
else.
we got a bunch of calls on it. It's up to you what you want to do. You know.
Are we up on
We're up on a break. If you're on hold, hang in there. But I'll tell you, this interview with Kamala Harris last night was the biggest takedown of a presidential candidate that has the nomination on the eve of an election in the history of the television interview. It's never happened like that before, and where they're yelling and all of that. I like when he said, well, half the country are support. Do you think half the country are stupid? I mean, he was just... All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott. I'm back on the air this morning right after 10 a.m. with more of your favorite oldies on South Florida's True Oldies channel.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation.
Oh, man.
Our low-cost central station monitoring. Our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloan's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloan's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloan's, we understand the importance of home security.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977.
Well, Dana Perino's with the Bushes, remember.
977-9445.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Paulette. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
This weekend, explore two fantastic outdoor art events in South Florida. First, visit the Los Olas Art Fair on East Los Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, where you'll see artwork from more than 150 artists. Or head to the Downtown Stewart Craft Festival on Southwest Osceola Street, where you'll find a variety of handmade creations. Both events offer free admission and are fun for the whole family. Los Olas Art Fair and Downtown Stewart Craft Festival, this weekend only. Details at artfestival.com.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison's Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. I want to talk about this incredible free doorbell camera offer from Slomin's that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. You know, yesterday when I was on the air, the AC guys showed up at my house to start work on the AC. I got a notification. I get it on I got it forwarded to my iPad too, okay? You can have it forwarded to different devices. I have it on my phone, my iPad. And I got the notification because there was some movement out in front of my house. I looked and it was the AC guys. It's a great thing. You can get one for free with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Slomin's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for the doors and windows, lifetime warranty, a backup battery, as well as a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. Give them a call, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? I've always got something lined up. It's the opposite of the company. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
You know, I had a different take about Bret Baier. I mean,
Of course.
some good questions. Well,
You're a doomsayer, that's why.
I'm not a doomsayer. I'm just saying it seemed like he let her run all over him because, you know, he asked him questions, and yeah, maybe he wasn't.
That was technique.
I mean, he couldn't get his questions in, his follow-up questions.
Like I'm trying to get my statement in.
Okay.
It's she. I give her credit for some basic techniques that she has too. The one she used is very rudimentary, a very basic one. But the idea of ridicule through the questioning and to overtalk, that's what she used a lot. And what she does is she talked him over and wouldn't yield the control of the mic to him, kept going until finally he was skilled enough to come in over her and cut her off.
You know, I'll tell you, Joellen, you don't get. Let me add something, Joellen, to that. Okay, that you don't get because there's something you don't get because you're a woman. Okay. Right now, don't be offended. It's true. When you're a man and you're interviewing a woman, especially one that's not white, in a position like he's in, you have to make sure that you do it in a way that they can't excuse you as being overbearing or not polite to the woman or to the black woman or to the non-white woman. Men have to defer to women a little bit, and what he did by that is he showed that he wasn't the one who was rude and interrupting, that she's a nasty woman who was terrified and wouldn't stop interrupting him to stop the questions.
Yeah, what you just said, Brian, I understand that because Bret Baier is very calm and very, I don't know what I would describe him as, but you know, it just seems like he could have cut in there, you know, and did a little bit more follow-up. Without being rude, of course he's not going to say, I don't think he ever sounds rude. That's what Yeah, and that's what I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
Listen. If we were doing the interview, like if Steve and I were interviewing Kamala, we wouldn't have been as polite. Okay, we're MAGA advocates. Okay, he is a journalist who is looking to make sure that people understand that he's fair, balanced, and not biased. So he's got to handle it differently than Steve or I would or you would. What he did was the best I've ever seen somebody in the mainstream media interview a Democrat. I've never seen something like that before.
All right.
But see, you're never happy. You're always down in the dumps. We're always losing. You're never. It's true. Oh, here, even now, it's getting worse. Yes, you're always negative.
Oh, I am. Jimmy, my negativity you misrepresent as just a different viewpoint. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. Yeah, she's negative. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee. Tough night last night for you.
You guys sound pathetic, man. You guys are just championing this tariff champion who's going to drive up inflation and rise prices and everything.
Right? He's going to rise prices? You mean raise prices?
Prices. What was me? Yeah, you need to hurry up and catch a stroke.
Tell us. Did you see the interview? Who do you want to have the stroke, Steve or me? Me. Oh, you want Steve to die?
You.
You want us to die? You want us to be dead?
It wouldn't hurt.
Why do you want us dead? Because we disagree?
Because he's a bitter, frustrated loser.
So you obviously agree that Kamala got her clock cleaned.
And more important than that, the one thing that dominates his bad mood today is last night is the night he realized for the first time he's going to have to put up with 4 years of Trump.
See, Steve, when the
Renee.
Yeah.
Sweetheart. You sound like an idiot. You know that?
Yeah, when the employment when jobs come back, whoever you have to pretend to be looking for work every day to is going to stop taking those excuses.
Tell you what, since you're so talented,
yes,
you go look up Birch Orchestra Chamber and listen to this.
Birch.
God is black.
Okay, and
what you think?
God is black.
Hear me thanking your butt. Yeah.
What will I find? You singing a racist song?
That's me.
So how much did you make off that racist song?
Enough that I can laugh at you. I've been more places than you, Sonny.
Uh-huh. Well, I got to go to work every day. So it's hard for me to go places when I have to be at work the next day. I know. You're a loafer. God is black?
God is black.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Really? Then why did if God is black, why did he make other people of different colors like Asians and Eskimos and stuff? Why is not everyone black? If he made us in his image, yeah, but we're not all black.
First one he made.
So if God made us in his image, why is everyone not black if he's black? Is that in the song? Do you have is there a verse about that? Oh my goodness. Steve, I got to tell you, we've heard from a lot of liberals today. They've all been unhinged. Oh my goodness. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll be back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s.
I want to look it up. I want to see what Renee looks like.
What? Oh, I didn't look it up.
I want to look it up. I want to see what he looks like.
I've never seen something like that before. God is black. Is that what he said?
Yeah. But
burnt toast?
Burnt toast or something like that? Hold on. I can go back and hear it.
I'm going to look it up. Don't play it because I don't want to play it on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I just want to see what... was it burnt toast? I just want to hear what this is
I'm looking up on my iPad. Burnt toast, God is black. I hear the burnt toast theory. I don't see the song, didn't come up. I guess I gotta have some racist search engine. No, I've not heard, I don't see anything from that. Burnt toast, God is black. Let me look at song. Okay, add song to the search. Burnt toast and coffee. There's a song called Burnt Toast and Black Coffee, but it's a song from the 70s. There's a copyright on it from 76. Is that him?
Mm-mm.
Integrated health offerings include targeted health assessments in personal wellness, nutrition, bio-well energy flow, and metabolic fitness. Take a few days to let the experts at AMRIT guide you, with services including pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, red light therapy, and dry flotation meditation. Fine dining is available at the Oceanfront Restaurant, Tula. Unlike anything else in experience
No, I can't find this song he's talking about.
endless treatments designed to detox and relax. Explore all available offers at amritocean.com. That's AMRITocean.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're gonna go to the shows together and much, much more. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
All right.
And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You know, I was looking during the break. I could not find this burnt toast God is black thing that Renee was talking. Maybe next time he can sing it for us. She whiz. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And I got to tell you, I have never been so wrong on the air as I was yesterday and the day before about Bret Baier. And I cannot apologize to him enough. He did a great job. Great job.
You're going to apologize to me. I was the one who was giving me a hard time.
Oh, yeah, you know. You were okay. You were right, Steve.
What I'm kind of interested in is what was your thought process that led you to the conclusion that he was going to...
Well, because he has been negative towards Trump. His reporting has been very anti-Trump, and then Trump took that swipe at him a couple weeks ago, and I guess I misjudged him. He's able to overcome his personal biases and do his job, which is what you're supposed to do when you're a journalist or a doctor, right? You know, whatever it is you do, you're supposed to be able to take your bias out of your job, and he did it.
It's true, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, but it's more than that. It's not. There's a lot of self-interest in it too. Basically, in news info business, whether it's television or radio, we do whatever. They've been taking a lot of flack lately for giving this lady a free ride. And all the networks that have been giving them the notes beforehand, and the business has really been under attack lately because of this. So, I mean, she was doing the right thing. Baier was doing the right thing for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He would have gotten ripped to shreds
mm-hmm.
if he'd done softballs.
No, he should be very proud of himself. Fox should be proud of him. I am not. You know, I've seen so many interviews with presidential candidates at this point. Usually when they get to that point, they're highly skilled and they can handle it. She is a bird brain. That's it. I mean, even Hillary Clinton did better on the eve of the election than that. Well, you want to go back to the phones?
Yeah, well, I want to bring up some other thing if we can't get calls up about this thing going on with Mayor Adams in New York.
Oh, his corruption? He's going to go to prison.
You know, have you heard about the...
Is there something new about it?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But Donald Trump is the new factor in that. You didn't really see this? It was in today's Post.
Oh, I didn't look at the Post. I was so excited about this interview last night. I didn't see the New York Post today.
Well, you look it up. It's in the Post. And what they're saying is there's a movement on to... See, what's happened to Mayor in many ways, and with many of the same principles involved, what's happened to Trump has happened to Adams.
Well, there's a difference. He's a real criminal.
Well,
he was taking kickbacks. He made that, what was it, Turkey that he made the deal with or something? One of those guys, yeah.
He was picked out. The bottom line is he was picked out because he wouldn't play ball with the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
The
illegals.
Illegals coming in, and the Justice Department. He started giving the Justice Department a hard time, so they made an example of him and decided to, make his life miserable
mm-hmm.
and make him send him to jail.
Yeah.
Message to other people that the Justice Department is...
Absolutely. Don't step out of line.
Exactly. Don't step out of line or you're going to get what Eric Adams got.
Mm-hmm. Prison.
So, I mean, that's the backdrop.
Has there been a new... Yeah.
If, in fact, Adams is convicted, and it's the same people, the same judges, the corrupt legal system in New York that's going after Adams that went over the same people that went after Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that if Trump gets elected, he's going to pardon Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be all for that. I think
it's definitely lawfare. But he did but he's guilty of it. He gave all these deals to Turkey. Anyway, you want to take? We got a full board of calls here on the interview. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hello, Brian. Hello, Steve. How are you? I guess I got to join in the chorus of apologies. I did not see this interview coming down like that before when I called in yesterday. I mean, that was a total beatdown. Total beatdown. It comes Bret Baier, I really didn't...
You know, he got her... there were a lot of moments, but when he got her to say, you're responsible for your what happens during your administration, that was... Oh, my goodness. That was devastating. That was a dumb thing for her to say.
It was just amazing to watch. I mean, he like you say, he filleted her. The big thing I take though from this, anybody who's like an independent to watch that interview, this is the lasting image, the lasting image they're going to have when they go into the voting to cast their ballot.
Mm-hmm.
The interview was devastating.
Yesterday was D-Day. That's the turning point, the whole...
You know, in 3 days, she's going to turn 60.
And they pay her like she's 40-something, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she also looked towards the end of the interview like someone who, you know, when someone goes in for the final interview and they realize, I'm not going to get the job, I just blew it. I think she's not going to get this job.
You know, we had Mayor Giuliani on. I don't know if you remember this, Steve. We had Mayor Giuliani on the show as a guest when he was running for president. It was the day of the Florida primary, and he had just gotten the internals before the interview, and he knew he was going to lose, and he was out of it. He was like Kamala last night. He didn't know what he was saying. He didn't know what. I felt bad because we love Giuliani, America's mayor, and all that, and we couldn't even make. We were trying to help him, and we couldn't make him feel good. You know, because he had those polls, he knew it was over. And I mean, you know what I would have liked to have seen are her 4 staffers that were waving their arms at Bret Baier to end this interview.
Looking to the side there every so often, I think, boy, somebody's putting out a commotion off him to take.
Well, I don't, not to be critical of Bret Baier because it was a perfection moment. I mean, the whole interview was perfection. However, I'd just say one thing. I would have asked her, these 4 people waving their arms for you to end this interview, what will their role be in your administration? Will they be waving their, you know what I mean? I mean, these are some powerful people. They can shut her down, you know?
Just surrender.
And she said at the end, he took a jab at her at the end. Well, I hope you got everything you wanted to get off your chest about Trump. And she said, I have more to say. I would have said, well, let's keep it going. And, you know...
Now we know why she doesn't do interviews with professionals. I mean, she got roasted on that.
This is the first time that's dawned on you?
Well, it's the first one she's done that's not scripted.
You didn't know why?
Yeah, we all knew. Yeah, we all knew. But that was a theory. That was a theory. Now we've seen her in action. Well, we've never seen her in an interview that wasn't scripted before. Hey, listen, thank you for the call. Absolutely it does. Take care, man. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Renee from Harlem. I'm not calling back, but it's burnt sugar.
Burnt sugar. Okay, hold on. Burnt sugar. I'm looking it up. Yeah, okay. And what else? What else do I Google? Burnt sugar. What? The Orchestra Chamber. Okay, I'll look it up. Okay, all right, I'll look it up. Is that you singing in the beginning? Is that you on stage wearing the funny clothes?
No, I'm the guitar player.
Are you the guy with the beard in the back?
The beard in the back.
With the
people in the band. It's 18 people. It's an orchestra.
Oh, 18. So maybe you don't really play. You just have to pretend to play if there's 18 people.
Man, you're retarded.
But if there's 18 people, it's an
orchestra.
Okay, I'm looking at them, but which one are you?
We've been together since 1999.
Okay. All right.
Guitar on that song I play. We've done 12 albums. I'm not on everything. I'm not with them anymore
Oh, they got rid of you. Okay, I get it. Okay, they dropped you. They dropped him from the band. You know, yesterday, Jupiter Joe Thomas was in studio. We found out we have something in common, that we're both skateboarders. And he was telling me when he was a young man out in California how he used to skateboard and longboard just like me. I know he told me he wanted me to feel good. He was talking, he had an accident. He was telling me about his raspberries and stuff. But Joe Thomas, he used to skateboard in empty swimming pools and stuff, you know, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'm not that crazy of a stunt man, but I had another skateboard accident, Steve. Well, Game Day Men's Health got my testosterone levels back, so I'm ready to go. So I went skateboarding, and the sidewalk, I was going down the sidewalk, and it was uneven, and I hit a part that was higher, and boom, right off, landed on my left shoulder. Make it a long story short, you know what happens when I get in a skateboard accident? I go see Dr. Appleton and have the laser wave pain treatment. I'm in a lot of pain. I've just been busy this week and haven't had a chance to see Dr. Appleton. But it doesn't matter because I can go and show up anytime I want, because with Dr. Appleton, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, okay? And every time I get hurt, fall off the skateboard, or have some arthritis. By the way, my wife pulled up that song. I'm going to quote my wife, okay? She says, the song sucks, that Renee was telling us. I'll listen to it after the show, but that was my wife's review. She said, the song sucks. But anyway, Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment works. This will be the 6th time that I've gone to treatment. He's rid me of pain 5 times. And you know, like you, Steve, with your neuropathy from over 2 years ago, the first time Dr. Appleton rid me of pain was in my knee. That was over 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago now. And the pain has not returned in any of the 5 times he's rid me of pain with his laser wave pain treatment. Stop living in pain. Go see Dr. Appleton. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on the Steve Kane.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
The metals looking great. We put in 2 new all-time record highs yesterday and this morning. Gold at 26.85 on the high yesterday, and closing out the day at 26.7420. Silver closed out at 31.65, while platinum closed at 9.95, and palladium closed yesterday at 1,015. But overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of 26.72 all the way up to a new record high, 26.89, just $11 away from $2,700.
Oh my!
Silver right now, gold's up $2.80 at 26.77, $2,677 the ounce. Silver up 5 cents at $31.70. Platinum up $11 right now at $1,006, and palladium up $13 at $1,022. So the markets are acting very good. Reports coming out that inflation is not over, and the Fed just may have lowered those interest rates prematurely. They're concerned about that, but the economy is still telling us that inflation is here to stay.
That's right, and you know, gold has been is a metal that's been money for 5,000 years. I mean, it's absolutely amazing the long power of gold. But you do more than just sell. You also buy things made of the metals, and not just gold, but other metals as well. What are some of the things that people are bringing in, William Youngerman, at these great prices on the metals, and they're turning into cash?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people bringing in jewelry that they don't wear anymore, gold, silver, platinum jewelry that's been sitting in drawers not being worn. And it's amazing at these levels how much a little ring or a broken chain can be worth. So things and turning them into cash, and a great time to do so. Silver plate, sterling silver, flatware and other things made out of sterling silver that are sitting there just tarnishing and not being used, they're bringing in, and we're seeing a lot of this kind of consolidation of stuff that, and then some of them are trading it in for a tradable form of gold, silver, things that they can enjoy and pass on to family members that will enjoy for decades.
Yeah, and you know, with the jewelry, if it's broken, old, ugly, out of style, or just god awful looking, and ugly, it's still worth money, right? It doesn't matter what it looks like or if it's broken.
Yes, indeed. And also diamonds that are not being worn, diamond rings and stuff. We pay top dollar for diamonds. And even though the diamond market is not what it used to be with all the synthetics now, or the new homemade, or not homemade, but manufactured diamonds, you can still get a lot of money for some of those old diamonds. So
you hear that? And it's always free appraisals for Steve Kane listeners at William Youngerman's. So you can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You could give them a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and you can find both his address and phone number at his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, and we are back. Okay, I just looked up Renee's album, Steve. I just give you a couple songs from Burnt Sugar, the band that dropped him, right? The band that dropped the lead guitar. God is Black is one of their songs. The next track is Black Froze, Black Gold. The third track is Young Frankenstank. These are, wow, they're just poets, aren't they, Steve? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
God is Black.
Okay. Yes, turn down the volume of whatever you're listening to me on in the back.
Oh, it's Frenchie from Stewart.
Frenchie, it's going good. You got to turn the volume down of the radio in the back.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, sure. We'll all hold on. The tens of thousands of us will all hold on while you turn down your radio. Awesome. What's up?
No, it's the computer.
Okay.
That's the point. I think Trump set up Harris.
Okay.
He went on national TV and said, "No, I'm not doing an interview with him," and I think that was the setup. So all of her people said, "Well, he doesn't like Trump, so maybe he's okay. You can go on."
You may be right about that. Yeah, I'll give you that, Frenchie. That was worth holding on for the turn the volume down. Yeah, very well could be. Yeah. They could have felt safe. Yeah, you could be right.
You call it, but all right. So that's what I kept thinking about that. I go, no, Trump set her up.
Yeah, Trump is he's playing tri-dimensional chess. That's the chess they play in Star Trek, right? All right, you're on that. Very good point. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from North Lauderdale. How are you guys?
Hey, Mike.
I just wish, he would have asked her. It was a great interview. I think it was, perfect. I mean, he just filleted her, man, killed her. I mean, anyone who doesn't think that she's an idiot now, it's crazy. But I wish he would just say, you kept telling the people that the border was closed and secure, and now you're saying we have an immigration problem. So why did you keep telling us that it was secure and closed? That's one of the things nobody's ever said.
Well, what he did, that's good, but what he did was better. I mean, he showed the 4 or 5 young girls that had been raped and murdered by illegals, and he says, these ladies here, these young girls were raped and murdered because of your dreamers. What do you say to their families? And then he played the mother of the one dead girl that got raped by one of her and killed by one. That was brutal. That was devastating.
I apologize. It's not my fault. Take the responsibility, like she said. You need to take responsibility for your administration. She doesn't take responsibility for anything.
No, that was, thanks for the call. Playing the sound bites like that, Steve, I don't think I've ever seen that happen before in an interview at that level. They don't usually do that. I don't remember ever seeing that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve Bryan, it's JJ from Met.
Hey.
JJ.
Hey, Steve. A couple of takeaways from this interview. Number one, it was spectacular for us and absolutely horrific for her. I mean, we got, Biden in the White House, Hunter's in the crack house, and...
I like that. Yes.
Outhouse.
That's good. Wait, what was the first one? She's in the outhouse. Hunter's in the crack house. What was the first one?
Biden is in the White House.
Oh.
House, and Harris is in the outhouse with a clean clock.
Yes.
And it was Baier, I didn't think he did a fabulous job. Got to give him kudos on that.
Absolutely.
I believe one of the most important things with men, but with women to a larger degree, is to not come across as in an aggressive or don't be a bully. And
I forgot the name. Who's that old fossil that they always have on Fox News with Bret Baier? He used to host the show like 100 years ago. You know what I'm talking about, Steve? That old fossil they have there. They always go to get. He's like the dean of Fox. Oh, you know who I'm talking about. He went. If I could say the name, I wouldn't be giving hints. But when they did that, after the interview, they went to him with Dana Perino and Brit Hume, and Brit Hume. Well, because he looks like Jimmy Carter did when he went to vote.
One day,
time
I saw him, he looked like a different person.
Oh yeah. HDTV is not his friend. That 4K, but he was saying that Kamala did all right and held her own.
Yeah, that's just the inside of the bubble not getting any oxygen.
By the way, did you guys see President Carter vote? Take him to vote.
Saw a sort of a ghost of a man. Is this the guy in the wheelchair that looked like he was
a wheelchair? I saw him in a stretcher. They were carrying him in a stretcher, and let me tell you, okay, I know, Steve. Did you see it, Steve? Did you see President Carter? By the way, notice I don't say former President Carter. Everybody knows. We don't have to overemphasize it. I was just a kid when he was president, okay? I mean, I remember him being president barely, and I remember his brother, Billy, more than that. Yeah, Billy Beer, yeah, exactly, Billy Beer. And Billy Carter he took $180,000 from the Saudi Arabian government when Jimmy Carter was president. Nobody knows what he took the money for, and he was like, yeah.
It was a nasty.
But I always liked him. But again, I was a child when he was president, so I see him through the eyes of a child. What they did with him, bringing him out in that ambulance to go and vote, his mouth was stuck open. He was in the bed. He looked dead. And that was just so, his family should be, Amy Carter should be ashamed of herself to let that happen with her dad.
They are the demonic death cult, this Democrat Party. I mean, they want to how can she, the thing is, to me, these questions were not like, Einstein-level IQ questions. These were just normal questions that she's just never faced before. And walking down the path, the border, what you were just talking to the last caller, and, as far as the bringing up the two ladies, I mean, he went emotional. It's, how can you answer that question without being
Yeah. No, she sounded terrible. I'm finished what I was saying, though, because I was making a point here about President Carter. This is what the Democrats don't have. Jimmy Carter was the second worst president in history, next to this idiot we got now, right? The American hostages. I remember the gas crisis and all that stuff. He was terrible, okay? President Carter was an awful, awful president, okay? And he also hates Jews. He's an anti-Semite. Remember, he had a map of the Middle East up at the Carter Center, and Israel wasn't on the map. Remember that? But even still, he was president of the United States, and I'm disgusted by his family that they would humiliate a president and bring him out like that. These people, our president gets shot, and they're blaming him for it, and they're pissed off the guy missed, right? I mean, they have the Democrats today just have no connection or respect for our country, our presidents, or our institutions. It
was kind of horrible to see that. I mean, I don't really, I mean, it's so long ago. I mean, the only thing I remember about him, I mean, I was old, I'm a little older than you, Brian, maybe 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
I remember my sister talking about gas lines in Boston, and interest rates for homes were like, she got an 18% interest loan on the home that.
Well, and I remember the humiliation of the hostages, and he said the rescue mission that everybody got killed on. It was a disaster in the desert, and all that stuff, But still, you treat a president with a certain level of respect. Democrats, they brought Jimmy Carter out that way because he wanted to vote for Kamala Harris. So bad. And then after he voted for Kamala Harris, Steve, if you have not seen it yet, don't watch the video of President Carter when they took him to vote. It was the most vile, sad thing I've ever seen. It's like, you know, that's how slimy Democrats are, that they took that man, who, by the way, you know, he did some good things when he wasn't president, I must say, okay? But he took on the Ku Klux Klan in Georgia, believe it or not, as a Democrat when he was in the state house, which is a pretty brave thing to do back then. He took on the Klan. And and those were his constituents, right? Because he was a Democrat in the South. But to do what they did to that man, to support Kamala, that's how lowlife these Democrats are. How could they do that to a man? They're demonic. That's correct.
Sad group of people. Just sad. Yeah.
They're going to be even more after this election is over.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. Take care. I appreciate the call. All right. Tomorrow. That's it for today. But tomorrow is Friday. That means open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything is fair game on Friday's show. The show prep is up to you guys, not Steve and myself on Friday's show, which is hit or miss. Sometimes it's the best show of the week, and other times their show prep isn't as good as I'd like. But tomorrow's open phones, and there's a lot going on, so I'm sure you all will have a lot to say. After the show, I'm going to listen to the songs from the band that dropped Renee from Harlem, just to see how bad they really are. And I'll give you my review of that tomorrow. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. Steve has been here. I'm Brian. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Thanks, everyone who tuned in. And don't forget, it's only less than 3 weeks, Steve, until Election Day. I can't wait. Trump's coming back. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
SFS 104.3 HD3.
All right, guys. Hey, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone who's already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video if you don't mind, all right? I'll see you. Take care.